Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, everyone. So I am the moderator for this town hall session. My name is Alia, and for today's topic is, does remote work truly benefit employees' health? So this topic has actually sparked a debate globally. So since the pandemic, it has changed how millions of people work. So we have gathered four different voices, a social media influencer, Ms. Ziyi, a health expert, Dr. Adra Atifa, a project manager, Ms. Xiao Yun from Company X, and a remote employee from Company X as well. So without further ado, let us dive into the first speaker, Ms. Ziyi. What is your take on this?
Okay, as someone who share a lot of the lifestyle and productivity online, I have noticed many of followers say remote work changed their life, like no more traffic jam, more time for their hobbies, and even they can sleep better. Personally, I found that being at home is let me can create more content and manage my meeting time without rushing anywhere. I know not everyone have this kind of experience, but for many of the young professionals, this flexibility is really can reduce their stress. Honestly, for me, I feel very healthier now when I did because I did when I was constantly communicating, and this all for me.
Okay, so thank you, Ms. Z. So this highlights a personal side of this debate. So I agree, many people, especially young workers, they actually value no commute, more personal time, and also flexibility. But personal experience, is different from people who in the medical field observe. So, Dr. Ajra, as a health expert, what does research say?
Okay, thank you, Ms. Alia. So, yes, from the medical standpoint, there is an growing evidence that remote work support health, but only if it implemented thoughtfully. So, there is a study from the University of Southern California in 2022 that reported these remote workers has lower stress levels and better sleep quality. Um, and in Malaysia, from the Journal of Occupational Health itself, says that there is 67% of remote workers that feel that they sleep better, but there's also a growing number that says that they are socially disconnected when they work remotely. So from here, they found that Gen Zs are the most affected one, as they are vulnerable to isolation and also burnout. And let's also talk about the working environments, because when you work remotely, you can work from couches and also beds, which can lead to physical strain and other long-term issues. And even the World Health Organization has warned about the risks that these workers can face, which include the prolonged screen exposure, poor posture, and also anxiety.
Yes, I feel that, Dr. Adra. Sitting in front of the screen for many hours, it wears me out. Because of it, my eyes get tired, and I feel blurred sometimes, and it's hard to stay focused while working. On top of that, sitting for a long period also make my back ache, and I also feel the stiffness building in my shoulders and my neck. Even though my wrist also feels sore while typing or while taking too much time to type, it's not just about physical either. Mentally, I feel drained. Being at the same spot for a whole day without much movement makes me feel restless.
Exactly, Ms. Shu. So here we can say that the personal experiences actually matches the research. And like I said before, it's not all rainbows about working remotely. There's also a survey where they say that 58% of fully remote employees in Malaysia say that their work-life balance actually are very poor. But on the other hand, the other 50% says that their work-life balance actually are above average compared to hybrid and office workers. So I would say that from this data we can say that remote work can actually offer better balance for health, but only if it's done right. It has potential, but it is not a health default because it requires infrastructure, education, mental health support, and mental health support to truly benefit the employees. Yes, I think that's all.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Ajra. It is clear that science states that there are positive and negative effects of remote working. So, and yes, I agree that health is very, very important. It is vital, but let us consider how this plays out inside a real organization. So, Ms. Yoon, what patterns have you seen in your team?
Thank you, Ms. Alia. So in my team, when we first shifted to the remote work, we really saw the productivity rise. So people were more at ease at home. They picked up their extra time in commutes and they were able to get head off on their day. So precisely, there's a Stanford research concluded that home-based workers were on average and 30% more productive than their counterparts in their works. At first, it felt like the perfect solution, like greater productivity, reduces the stress. But eventually, the scenario became increasing complicated. A few peers in our company and in our group had their trouble to managing overwork since they were unsure when to log off, and their work and personal life blur together when they work, and that led to the fatigue when they work in the company at the same time. So while other colleagues began to feel more lonelier and disconnect from the team, and hence the collaboration was tougher and their creativity is decreasing. Instead of discussing some ideas from their own organically at the office, they become more sniffer and less common online. So I would characterize remote work is neither good nor bad, as what Dr. Adra said just now. With clear check-ins, defined hours, and support for mental well-being, remote work it can be healthy and efficient, but without these things, risks like burnout, isolation, and weak collaboration or creativity will cancel out the benefits.
True, Miss Yu. But don't you think like some of that is depend on their personality? Like some people drive and left them alone.
So, fair point, Missy, but as a project manager, I need more solutions that work for the whole team, not just an independent one.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Yun. So even if remote work helps certain people, managers also still have to think about fairness and the collective well-being of their team. But what about the people who actually live in this life daily? So, Ms. Shu, what is your take on this, on your personal experience?
Thank you, Ms. Alia. So honestly, it's not as perfect as people think. Yes, we can wear pajamas at home while working, but distractions are everywhere. Imagine if you have your kids or siblings, the noise really can get in the way. And then there's social media. It's just too easy to get sidetracked, and you might wonder why that's different if in compared to the office. Well, the environment matters a lot. If you are in the workplace, you will associate it with focus and productivity. But at home, it's harder to draw that line, and so you end up relaxing and procrastinating instead of fully concentrating on your work. Furthermore, I also feel isolated. I feel cut off from the team. A survey by Buffer in 2023 found that there's over 20% remote workers said loneliness was their biggest challenges. And I would say it was true.
Okay, so thank you, Ms. Shu, and thank you to everyone. We have unique perspectives on this topic. So first, experience states that flexibility and freedom lead to better health and well-being. Second, science state that isolation, overwork, and physical restraints are real risks. And managers also still have to face challenges balancing the needs of individuals with the health of the whole team. So the question still remains, does remote work truly benefit employees' health? That answer depends on the balance. In the right conditions, it supports health, and of course, in the wrong ones, it can harm them. So that wraps up our town hall session for today. Any questions? Yes, Ms. Malika? How are you supposed to find what? Community?
Communicating ke?
Community ke community? Community, okay. Mm. Okay. Okay, so my personal answer to that is that we have social media nowadays. You know, there's a lot of applications, digital platforms like Instagram, TikTok, or even Google Meet or Teams. Those are platforms where us Gen Zs can actually find our own communities there. So I would say there is no problem, but that is also where they can improve their communication skills. So I would say there is no problem. Oh, that's good.
Live no.
I see I have a foreign audience there too. Can you ask questions?
Oh, no.
Do you have any questions? Then why are you here? Sorry? Who is your friend? Girlfriend ke friend? Okay, no questions?
Tak ada, Miss.